Welcome, I'm Good, and this is a good look at Fallout Shelter. Fallout Shelter is the new iOS app that Bethesda revealed at E3 during their conference. So right now we are in the beginning tutorial. We are the new Vault Overseer of Vault 60. And the first thing they want us to do is build a room. So this video is going to function as one part beginner's guide, one part review, one part talking about Fallout, so I guess 3 parts making a whole. Anyway, we're going to start with our power generator. Now, the one main thing to keep in mind is when you place your first 3 buildings, you want to place them in the 3 spots that are showing right here. Do not place them anywhere else. I'll explain why in the future. And I'm going to start by putting our power generator right up here. It doesn't matter which of the 3 spots you put it in, I just prefer to have it up there on the top floor. And now we have our new Vault Dwellers. So our first Vault Dweller, every single game is going to have a 5 in strength. The reason for that is because strength is what's used by the power generation room, and they want to make sure you get a good start on that. So we're going to go ahead and drag him over and drop him in the power generator. And then we're going to come back and grab our second Vault Dweller and drag her over to the power generator as well. As soon as he gets there, I believe she'll start running over. Yeah, there we go. Because the vault door has to open independently for each dweller that comes in. And once they arrive there, our tutorial should continue. Now that the dwellers are working, the resource room will start to produce resources, blah 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 blah. Click the room to zoom in. If you double tap, you'll zoom in. And rushing in this game is different from rushing in most other iOS apps, because in most other iOS apps, rushing costs money. It does not in this. It does have a chance of failure in this, which can cause an incident. The catch is that once you've got all of your Vault Dwellers equipped with armor and weapons, those incidents become positive things, because if you force rush and you have an incident, you can actually use that to farm experience. So because this is the first rush, it will always succeed. And as you can see, we got some resources right away. Now the next thing they're going to tell you to do is build a second room. They're going to have you build your other 2 main resource rooms, which is food and water. And like I said, we're just going to make sure that we don't put those in the corner next to the power room. They're all in those 3 starting areas. And what did I build last? Diner. Okay, so water treatment. So now we've got one of each of those rooms, and we're going to get a whole bunch of new dwellers. Okay, this is a dweller that specializes in luck. There is no room for luck. There is a room for agility though, which is the diner, and she has a 2 in that, so we'll send her there. The next guy has a 3 in intelligence, a 2 in perception, a 2 in endurance, and a 2 in agility. We don't have an intelligence room yet, we will later, so right now I'm going to send him down here to produce water for us because we don't have anyone there yet. And then we'll take a look at our next guy, who has a very high strength, so obviously he's going up here. Which will push out one of our dwellers that's in the strength room. Because that room right now has a capacity of 2. All the rooms have a starting capacity of 2. Awesome, this is our main diner person because she has a ton of agility. And we got 25 caps for putting 2 of our dwellers in the correct rooms. And this guy has a ton of perception, so he's going in our water room. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here, and they won't tell you to do this in the tutorial, but you should right away, is come in here and build a second water treatment right here. Now, as you can see, those 2 rooms just merged. That does a couple of things. It doubles the output of these rooms. It also makes it so these rooms can have twice as many dwellers working them. But what we're really after is the doubled output, and the reason for that, and actually I'm going to go ahead and place a 3rd one there too because it's that important. The reason we're doing that is because one of the early quests that you get, or missions, objectives they call them, one of the early objectives you get is to get a whole bunch of water, and it gives you a lunchbox. Lunchboxes are awesome, and we should have some pretty soon. Now that we've got everything running nice and smooth, actually, what are our missions? Level up 1 dweller, successfully rush 1 room, and send a dweller into the wastes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rush the power room. No, I'm not. The power room is done in 14 seconds. I'll rush the water room. Plus it has a lower chance of failing, which is good. Awesome. Okay, so we successfully rushed a room, and we got a lunchbox. I'm actually not going to open that now. You can open it as soon as you get it, but for the sake of being able to see what exactly you start with every playthrough, I'm going to save the lunchbox, because my goal is to get all of the lunchboxes that you get right at the beginning, and I believe there's 4 of them. So the next one comes when we level up one dweller. I'm actually going to take her. She has nothing but charisma. That is good because charisma is used to get people to hook up, and when they hook up you get babies, and babies mean more dwellers. So I'll keep her and I'll send her over in that room. And then this guy just got here, so why don't we send him over there, because we need to start populating as soon as possible. Populating is hugely important in this game. And now I'm going to go ahead and try to rush another room, unless it's about to finish, which it is. No, I don't want to destroy. You can destroy rocks when they're in the way to expand, but we don't need to destroy rocks just yet. We actually just need to make enough money to grab an elevator, so that's what we're going to do. First of all, I'm going to take her and put her down in the water room because we have the extra capacity for her there. And then I'm going to take this guy and send him out in the wastes. Now, it's going to warn you not to send people out in the wastes unequipped, but that's kind of BS because if they die, you can resurrect them. And if you send them out unequipped, they will find gear along the way and equip themselves. Plus, the sooner you get them out there, the sooner they're gathering gear to bring back to your vault dwellers, because one of the characters I sent out the other day on my other vault literally brought me back 12 weapons and 12 armors, which equipped almost my entire vault. So that's what we're aiming for. We want to be doing that kind of thing. And now we have our last lunchbox mission, which is collect 50 water. Maybe it's only 3 lunchboxes you get, but we'll know soon enough, because I'm going to rush out some food to try to move that one along. And also, when you rush, you get some caps, and I'm looking for those extra caps right now, because I overspent by expanding into that 3 water thing. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do with those caps is build an elevator. The reason I'm building an elevator is because pretty soon, in order to grow, we're going to need another living quarter. But we don't want to upgrade this one. Instead, we want to put one down here. Oh, I think that might be one. Yeah, that's a lunchbox right there. So bam, we got another lunchbox. The only lunchbox left that we need is the water one, and we should get that fairly quickly because it only requires 2 successful water completions. And that's 1 right there. The next one would come in 5 minutes unless we rushed it, but if we rush it, there's a pretty good chance of it failing. Oh, we have another dweller. And this guy has really good perception, so we'll send him down to the water room as well. Oh, the vault's living quarters are full. Okay, this is what I was afraid of, but it's okay because we have enough money now. So you want to build your living quarters on this floor. The reason we're doing that is because, once again, you want to leave yourself room to put 2 more next to it. And you'll do that with every room you build because they all function that way. Alright, and then we're going to send this guy down here like we had intended to before. And I'm also going to come up here. You can scroll through this menu to see all your people. You can sort them by specials, so you can go to different specials. That's really useful when you're trying to figure out where to assign people and like there's been a shakeup. You can sort them by status and you can sort them by job. And we're going to take a look at our explorer because he's out there right now. This is actually kind of neat. You can kind of watch the text come up and show what's going on. Okay, so he just saw a disgusting radroach. Chances are, yeah, it's moving in ready to attack, so he's going to fight this radroach. And hopefully he's going to win. The radroach is too fast. I've had enough. He suffered 2 damage and gained some XP. That's okay. Let's check these out real quick. So we need 1 more water completion to get our last lunchbox. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to rush it. There's honestly no reason to be afraid of the results, because if it's radroaches, there's enough people in there to fight them off, and if it's fire, there's enough to put them out. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a radroach, or a couple of radroaches in this room now. Wow, 3 radroaches. That's a lot early on. Normally you only get 1 or 2. But we have enough dwellers in this room that they will eventually stomp the radroaches to death, because they have no weapons yet. And when they do stomp the radroaches, you will notice that all of them gain experience. So the thing is, when you are waiting for stuff to happen in this game and you don't have anything to do, force rush rooms, because the extra XP adds up and then they'll gain levels, and when they level, you also get caps. Oh, we've got another level right here. So a few more caps, like I said, and some more caps right there. And we have another dweller who's just shown up, who has cruddy stats. I'm actually going to bring him in and put him in the vault door room. He's basically going to sit there and be our first line of defense if we get attacked by raiders. Level up that guy. And we've got 3 more minutes left on that. I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going to rush it. And hope it doesn't fail. Okay, it succeeded, and we got another lunchbox, which is awesome. The most important resource is power. The reason it says that is because if you run out of juice, you're not able to power your base, and if you're not powering a room, then it can't generate the other resources. I want to make sure we don't have... Yeah, so we have no more lunchboxes left to unlock right now. So we're going to go crack these open, and you're going to get a chance to see what the lunchboxes are like. Oh, we got an enhanced hunting rifle. That's a good pull. Stim pack, caps, and a hardened combat shotgun. That's legit. So, see how that was blue and it glowed? There's a blue glow and a yellow glow. If you don't get any of those in your Vault-Tec lunchboxes, you might want to just restart the vault, because it's not that hard to get back to this. Rusty laser pistol, that's nice. And caps. Alright, last lunchbox, what do we got? Caps, lever action rifle, power, and caps. Alright, so now that we've got our basic rooms laid out, we've got 1700 caps, we're kind of stable for a minute. I'm actually going to go ahead and build... Oh, we don't have enough for a storage room. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out our power generator and our diner real quick, so that we have 3 of each of those. Then I'm going to cover one more thing. We really want to have people making babies as soon as possible. So one trick you can use, because women are still capable of working while they're pregnant, you basically want to have them getting knocked up all the time and then send them back to work. Unfortunately, that does mean that they can't defend the vault, so if anyone attacks, you want to roll them back and grab your male vault dwellers to come fight them off. When women vault dwellers are not pregnant, they can fight, and there are actually a lot of them that are very good. But it's not worth it because you need the constant flow of new vault dwellers to unlock access to new rooms up here. So now that we've covered all that, I want to actually take a second to talk about the microtransactions in the game and what they are and what they aren't. Because when this game first came out, I started playing it, all my coworkers started playing it, everybody started playing it. But one of my coworkers and I were talking, and she was very upset with the microtransactions in the game, and I honestly couldn't understand why. And the reason I couldn't understand why is because it's so easy to think microtransactions are bad and just sit on that buzzword, but that's not really the case. What's actually going on is that in a lot of games, like for example in EA's UFC game, the microtransactions are there to gate your experience and prevent you from actually enjoying the game unless you spend money or grind for a ridiculous amount of time, which is not fun. In this, yes, you can spend money, but the only thing that you can purchase is lunchboxes, and those same lunchboxes can be unlocked from doing things like keeping your vault dwellers so happy that you get an A score at the end of the day, because you get a daily score, and if you've gotten a daily score and checked in for 7 days, you get a lunchbox for that, and there's also lunchbox objectives that will pop up after a while. So you don't need to spend money on the lunchboxes. I look at this more of a, if you think the app's good enough that you would have bought it, then go ahead, buy a couple of lunchboxes, but you really don't need them. And they don't limit your experience. There's no like gate that you have to buy lunchboxes to get past, and that's why the microtransactions in this game are not bad, and they're not something that should really be complained about or held against the developer. There's really no point for that, because the microtransactions in this are actually very fair. So that was the bit I wanted to talk about that. I'll actually save talking about Fallout 4 for another video. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. If you want to be notified when another video goes up, please click subscribe. Game responsibly.